Hey everybody, welcome back. This is 7 more daytime talk shows we watch when we stay home from school. So this is part 2. If you have not checked out part 1, be sure to do that. I'll link it in the description box below. First up, we have the queen herself, Queen Latifah. So Queen Latifah graced us with the Queen Latifah Show, and it originally aired from 1999 till 2001. The show segments included celebrity interviews, musical performances, and inspirational stories. And it was actually described as the quote-unquote Dear Abby for the hip-hop generation. It only lasted 1 or 2 seasons. However, years later, the original talk show was revamped and brought back from 2013 until 2015, and Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith were the executive producers of the show at this time.
Well, try to have an intelligent conversation then. The topic is about...
Where did you come from?
Get it right. Hey, don't cut me
I didn't
off.
find this guy, but this guy is about to be gone. Listen, we're not going to get disrespectful to each other because that's not what the show is about.
Okay.
Now, we know Ananda Lewis for her work on MTV, but she also had her own daytime talk show, The Ananda Lewis Show, and the show aired in 2001. Ananda's show was great for young audiences, and she had plenty of musical guests and fun topics. However, the show lasted 1 season, and when the show went off, it seemed like Ananda just disappeared from the spotlight. However, there were personal things going on behind the scenes, and Ananda quit the show after 1 season. She left to move in with her sick grandmother, and she took care of her for the last 2 years of her grandmother's life. In addition, Ananda was having trouble with her decision to move forward with doing a talk show. In a later interview, Ananda looked back at her time on the show and had this to say: "I also wish I had stopped the people that wanted me to do the talk show and said, not yet. It's a little too early to do this. It was overkill for me. I had so many issues with stalkers and negative energy coming towards me from the attention. It was too much for me. I broke in certain ways, and I went into self-survival mode, and I said, this has to go." Also, overall, Amanda was unhappy with the show, and she also had this to say: "I wasn't happy with the show itself, so I felt like my performance was impacted by that. There were some good episodes, there were some highlights, but for me, it wasn't what I felt like I signed up for." Ananda eventually went back to school, and she graduated with a degree in carpentry, and she continues to work as a carpenter. The Oprah Winfrey Show aired for 25 seasons from 1986 until 2011. Oprah was watched to give us that good balance of righteousness and ratchetness. You know, after you watch Jerry Springer and Maury. So in 25 seasons, Oprah has way too many memorable moments to include them all. But we do remember these really popular ones. There was a time that Tom Cruise jumped on the couch when he professed his love for Katie Holmes. Probably one of the most famous episodes is when she gave every audience member a brand new car, amongst plenty other gifts. The Geraldo Rivera Show aired for 11 seasons from 1987 until 1998. Geraldo was filled with plenty different topics, ranging from political issues to social issues and some really serious topics. On November 3rd, 1988, an episode aired involving white supremacists, skinheads against racial prejudice, black activists, and Jewish activists. During the show, John Metzger called Roy Ennis Uncle Tom, and that provoked Ennis, a black man. Ennis walked over aggressively and grabbed Metzger by the neck, leading to a huge fight. Audience members, stagehands, and even the show's host, Geraldo, got into the fight. Everybody got involved. So Geraldo was actually hit in the face with a chair, and it broke his nose. He chose not to press charges, saying he didn't want to deal with the trouble, and he also believed that the violence was justified. The show's ratings went up as news of the fight spread before the episode even aired. Forgive or Forget was hosted by Mother Love and later by actress Robin Givens. The show, which aired from 1998 until 2000, focused on reuniting estranged family members and friends. There were emotional confrontations and resolutions, which really made it very entertaining TV. The show would have on guests who spoke about a time where they were wrong or they were wronged by a friend or loved one. The guest on the show was to find out if the other person was present and ready to make amends. At the end of the show, the guest would stand in front of a large door. If the other person was willing to apologize, they would stand behind the door and the two would reunite when the door opened. However, if the other person was not willing to forgive, there would be no one standing on the other side of the door. The first season did really well, and the second season did okay with ratings. So when the producers saw that the ratings began to dip, they decided to replace the original host, Mother Love, with actress Robin Givens in January 2000. They also changed the show format and they made it more of a raunchy tabloid style talk show. However, this format was not a hit and the show was canceled in April of 2000. Rosie O'Donnell's show first aired in 1996, and many viewers found that O'Donnell's show was like a breath of fresh air and it was unlike typical talk shows. She wasn't as stuffy, she didn't have the same kind of serious or kind of quote unquote commercialized banter that many of the other hosts had, and people found her really fun and relatable. She was even given the nickname the Queen of Nice. And Rosie O'Donnell usually kept her show really fun and lighthearted, and she even threw koosh balls at the audience. And at the start of each of her shows, a different audience member would state their name, where they were from, and then they would introduce Rosie. The show producers were not huge fans of this opening, but Rosie insisted that they keep her intro this way because she really loved interacting with the audience. And she also enjoyed being able to talk to a quote unquote real person every day. The show ended in 2002 when O'Donnell left so that she could spend more time with her children. Last but definitely not least, we have Montel Williams. The Montel Williams Show ran from 1991 until 2008. And Montel was known for his compassionate approach to covering a wide range of topics from health and wellness to inspirational stories. And his empathy and sincere approach really made him a trusted figure in daytime TV. Question: do you all remember his regular guest, the psychic Sylvia Browne? Remember, she was a psychic medium and she appeared in many of the episodes on the show, and she offered advice or visions to members of the audience as well as making predictions about public figures and celebrities.
Is getting ready for a political career, whether it's mayor, whether it's going for the Senate or something, but he's gearing up for a political career.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, to clean house.
Arnold Schwarzenegger did gear up for a political career, and on November 17th, 2003, became California's 38th governor.
Although she had some successful predictions, she also had some that caused backlash. Two predictions that Brown had been criticized harshly for are related to Amanda Berry and Sean Hornbeck's cases. In the case of 11-year-old Sean Hornbeck, Brown told his parents that he was dead and he had been kidnapped by a dark-skinned man with dreadlocks. 5 years later, Hornbeck was found alive and he had been abducted by a Caucasian man with short hair. In an episode that aired in 2004, Amanda Berry's mother, Lawana Miller, appeared on the Montel Williams Show, and when she asked about her daughter Amanda's disappearance case, Sylvia Browne told her that she was dead. Now we all now know that Amanda, who was held hostage by Ariel Castro in Ohio, is very much alive, and she actually escaped in 2013. Amanda's mother passed away in 2006, never knowing her daughter was actually still alive. And when Brown was called out about her very wrong prediction, she said in the statement, "Only God is right all the time." Montel Williams even apologized for Sylvia Browne's incorrect prediction after Amanda Berry had been found alive. And there you have it. That was part 2 of daytime talk shows that were a big part of our 90s sick days. Which of these shows were your favorites? What memorable episodes or shows that we forget? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of our nostalgic trips down memory lane. See you next time.